Let's try. Hey, that's looking a hell of a lot better. Ah, there we go. Now we got sound. A little too much sound. Sorry, setting some things up. Bear with me, everyone. That's output. That's input. Let's try that. Let's try. Hey, that's looking a hell of a lot better. No, why is that playing to me? I don't want sound. That. A little too much sound. Sorry, setting some things up. Bear with me, I know everyone. Where this is. The things we have to take care of. That's output. Nope, that's not coming from there. Let's try. Hey, that's looking a hell of a lot better. No, why is that playing to me? I don't want that. Look at the echo of the echo of the echo. That's good. Sorry, setting some things up. Bear with me, everyone. I know where this is. The things we have to take care of. Why is this repeating on me? Nope, that's not. There we go. Found it. It was in a window.
How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Sorry about the craziness of last week. From the snow day that wasn't really a snow day.
Yeah, I had no right to jump the gun a little.
And then I got a little bit ill towards the end of the week, so.
We'll make that work there.
I've got the notes up for Chapter 3. I haven't put the program assignments up for Chapter 3. I'll put them up tonight/tomorrow. I want to look at two small things in Chapter 3.
And I'm probably going to talk into Thursday on Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is a big, just terror part of the math utilities that we saw. So hopefully that's where we'll be at. Really quickly, I'm going to figure out who's here. And we'll go from there. Let's see, Alex.
Here.
Wow, that was perfection. Sansi.
Yeah.
Evan. And again, if you see grades for attendance, this is just me keeping paperwork. Josue. Daniel. JM's not here. Cameron. Like the hat. Looks warm. Looks really warm. Jackson. Oh, yeah. Thought I saw Jackson earlier. Austin's here. Rodrigo's not. Gavin. Okay, Gavin.
Wow.
Vincent. Jack. Not. Brent. Neffy. Sophie's there. Owen. And Kent. All right. Anyone I didn't mention? Because I swear, well, okay, I did get everyone there. All right. Let's see if I can get these things working the way I want to work and things visible the way I want them to be visible. 2 seconds here. I'm got some weirdness going on the desktop here as I have a couple windows open. So if this looks weird once I broadcast it, I apologize.
Any idea what's causing it?
Oh yeah, I'm streaming it out right now so that it gets recorded. Let's see if we can get these here. Oh, there's Jackson. All right, let's come here. Let's make this. That's the one. Hey, how you doing? Owen, right? Yeah. All right, there's that. That's starting to look good there. And then oops. Yeah, and that's good there. Is that filling the screen the way I want it to? Yep.
All right. So those has the screens the way I want. All right. So guess I'll get some of the lights off here and see what we can do about the shade. As that will get a bit odd as time goes on. Yeah. All right. So when we last left, we were looking at selections and how we could do if something, or we're looking at truths. What I want to do. Not much I can do with that, sorry. And maybe I'll get a blanket from somewhere. Jesus.
Is it the one string?
Yeah, so that one does the slats. So it's a double string for the slats. And then this one does them all, but it's like something's caught right about there on the height, which tends to happen with these damn things in general. Something gets bound in them. Yeah, that's about all the torque I can get on it. And it seems to be caught right here. Yep. I'll just have to get a blanket or something at some point. And I have no clue what's hitting that one because that should be covered fully. This is there. Huh. Let me try changing the contrast, see if we get better here. Nope. Editor. Appearance. Nope, that's not what I want there. Source encoding. Nope, it's getting it from the system defaults. Damn it. All right, we'll try to make do verbally. Can we get enough that we can at least see the basics of this? All right.
I'm getting the windows not responding.
On your Eclipse Windows not is everyone else able to sign in? Okay.
I was in and then just stopped working.
Oh, you're just getting the wheel as it comes across. Okay.
Well, yeah, it was taking a while.
What we're going to do is we're going to start with a new class. So wherever you're storing your class coming through, and we're going to look at a couple of different functions. One of the things that we want to work with here is that we're going to want to use the random function. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to call this random examples for right now. And as always, I'm going to try to keep a public static void.
Yeah, I'm just going to try force closing it.
Okay.
Should have saved what I was doing automatically, right?
It depends on where it was falling down.
It didn't.
Trying to find my math operator here. There's my operators. All right. We're not going to compute taxes. What we're going to play with here is we're going to start with a double. And we're just going to call it rand because it's going to be a random value. and we're going to type in the math dot random.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, I can't really read it that well. I'll read
Try
it.
over there also. What I want to do is I actually want to look at what math.random does. It returns a double value that is positive. It's greater than or equal to 0. So mathematically it has a floor. It can be 0. But it's less than 1.0. So it can't be 1.0, but it can be some double in there. And inherently, this is like what a raw double really is. If we look at all the exponents that come after the mantissa, the whole decimal point, the whole way computers do decimals is they do between 0 and 1, is what they store in their doubles. Right? When we do scientific notation, we'll do like 2.34 times 10 to the 5th. We do things bigger than 1 and less than 10. But a computer is trapped between 0 and 1 for this. And so math.random, I think, is a good way of looking at it. And so it creates a single pseudo-random number. So let's just run this and print the result, and we'll see what we get. Again, I strongly recommend when you're learning a new function is to do things like this, right? Print it to the screen. I'm learning a new function. I want to see how this runs, so I'm just going to print to see what the output does.
I see what I did wrong. I forgot to add the system. System.out.
Now, notice when I run this, I've got a number. It is in my remit. It's bigger than or equal to 0 and less than 1. Run this a couple times. See what happens.
What did it say? Oh, yeah, I couldn't really read that. That part's covered.
That's different.
I'll try running it now.
I seem to be getting different numbers, right?
Yeah, 0.8595 for me.
Now, nothing on a computer is truly random. These are pseudo-random number generators. We're not going to go in on what you need to do to create a truly random number. That in its own right has some issues. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to want to do this. We'll use this to do some things for us. So, well, it would be nice if I wasn't this decimal, right? Wouldn't it be better to be like an integer or something, right? And so we want to try to, I don't know, let's say we'll guess a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to do like a number between 1 and 10.
Yeah, sure.
So if my random number generator can give me 0 as its smallest number and 1 as its larger, I've got to find a way to get this to be between 1 and 10. It's also a double. And 1 and 10 is an integer, right? So we got some problems here, right? Well, let's do this. Let's take integer to whatever comes out of math. So if I want to turn it to an integer, I guess I'm going to try this here. So I'll turn it to an integer here. And I'll try to cast it as an integer here.
So get rid of double.
Yeah, we're going to well, since we're going to ask it to be an integer, we're going to make the memory space an integer. And then we're going to do this thing, casting. I guess I'll have to do it over here with the sunlight. I'm going to say, hey, whatever this is, turn it into an integer. So let's see what that looks like. I don't think it's going to be too pretty. I have an idea. What number do you think is going to come out of this if it turns it to an integer? Like what do you, so it has this decimal. How's it going to turn it to an integer?
Round it.
Maybe not even round it. We didn't ask it to round it. Maybe it'll just cut off the decimal. And so if I'm between 0 and 1, what answer should I always get if I cut off the decimal?
0.
0. So let's see if I get only zeros here. Yeah. Right. So if I take this decimal and I throw away the decimal information of it, I'm only going to get 0 back. But I want a number between 1 and 10. So why don't I multiply this? For right now, I'm going to just multiply it by 10. Oh, all right. So since that should move me over 1 decimal place, and that should at least help me, I hope. All right, because that'll give me between 0 and not quite 1, so between 0 and 9. Does that make sense? Well, if I'm going to be, right, 0 times 10 is 10. Any other decimal in here, I'll move 1 decimal point over. I never get to 1. Right? The random never gives me 1, so I should never get a 10. It should give me a 0 through 9. I hope. Let's see. Let's play with that. All right?
I see what I did wrong.
Well, wouldn't it be 0 if it was only an integer, though?
Well, I'm turning it back into an integer. So remember, I got like 0. What if I get 0.003? I multiply that by 10. I'll get a 0.0. I switch it to an integer, and it'll give me a 0.
It does the multiplication before it turns it into an integer?
Well, that's why I'm hoping, because I'm trapping it in here, in these parentheses.
Okay.
No, these are good questions. We're playing with something to see if we can take this basic thing the computer has that's throwing me this kind of ugly decimal and see if I can turn it into things I can use.
I didn't see the set of parentheses. That's where my confusion was.
Then
No, it's all right.
I don't know, right? But you're right? It would only happen if I do it before it turns into an integer. So if I turn it into an integer first, I want to get 0 times 10, and 0 times 10 is always 0. Okay. So I should run this, and I should get numbers between 0 and 9.
Yeah, I got 2.
There's 9, there's 3. I'll just run it for a bit. All right, that's not too bad. Hey, there was a 0, there was a 1. I'm happy. I'm getting what I want. But I wanted between 1 and 10. So what do I have to do at the end here?
You could probably make an automated like D&D roller like this.
It was one of the first programs I did when I got my Commodore 64. Was I made a thing that printed out my character sheets and would pre-roll them for me. I was a really lonely 10-year-old.
Commodore 64, that's a throwback.
So if we go from 0 to 9, how do I make it 1 to 10?
Plus 1.
Plus 1. So let's see if I can do that here. Well, hey, there was a 10 right off the bat, which I couldn't get before. There was a 5. Yeah, I'm liking this.
6.
All right, so we've created a random number, and we have the ability to test things. So what I'm also going to introduce now is a basic loop. We're going to want the program to repeat itself. We're going to want it to keep doing the same thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a while loop. So we're going to say while something is true, we'll do whatever code we have here. We'll let the computer repeat code on itself. And I guess what we're going to do is we'll ask the user to guess the number, right? And maybe we'll say you're too high or too low, like a high-low game. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do that here. So I'm going to keep the random number printed up above, just so I get a feel for how my program goes as I'm developing it. But what I want is some Boolean, which is a true or false. And it's going to be, let's see, I'll just call it ask. And for right now, we'll say it's true. We need to ask the user high or low, okay? If I have to ask the user something, what do I need Java to import? What have we been using to ask things? Scanner. So we'll come back up here and make sure we have a scanner class. Java. Oh, I cannot remember my scanner dialog now. I have to look at it.
Util.scanner with a capital S.
Yeah, I thought I had util.scanner, but I might not have hit. Yeah, there it was. Might have hit lowercase and didn't see it.
Import java.util.scanner.
And so at some point we need a new scanner object. Scanner. I still call them input.
Oh, I forgot to put the U with util. Okay, I see what you're doing.
You will see me go back and forth with some symbols again, doing a lot of C++, R, and Java lately, and I'll juggle. Is this capital in this language? So bear with me on that. I've never quite figured out how to hold all the little differences together. All right, so we've got our computer generating a random number. We've got a space for us to get user input, and we're gonna, hey, it's true, I need to ask the user something right now. We make a truth statement on it. So what I need to do is while ask, and I put the code. So what while is gonna is whenever this is true, it's gonna run the code here.
Oh, I see.
And let's see here. I guess since I said we're going to ask, that's the first thing we'll do. Guess between 1 and 10. And we're going to need a variable for the user. Is that right? You're right. If the user is going to put something in, we need a variable space. So what I want you to see is how I'm kind of thinking of this in sections. I haven't put all my comments in. But we have this loop here that's going to keep looping as long as ask is true. And so that means we're going to keep asking the user to guess between 1 and 10. So every time they guess, I guess I'm going to need a variable for that, right? So let's go and add one up above. And it's going to be an integer. And I guess we'll call it guess. Is it making sense? All right. We have our interface for the user being the scanner object. We have a space for our guess. And we have what the computer came up with. And so we'll ask the user to get a number between 1 and 10. So let's see here. So guess is going to be input dot next integer, because we're grabbing integers from the user. We okay with where we're at? We have a space for the guest coming in. We have question, Austin?
Said so far so good.
All right. So
Oh, that's what I did wrong.
we now have asked. So what do we want to do with this guest?
Check if it's equal to the number.
Well, and if we're going to give hints, maybe greater than, less than,
Yeah.
right? So we'll probably do a couple of checks. So let's do the first one. If guess is equal to, what did I call that thing before? Rand?
Yeah.
Well, thing about loops is we can get stuck in them. So as soon as I'm right here, I no longer want to ask. So what do I have to change ask to?
False.
False. So as soon as we've got that correct, we'll ask false.
I think I typed something in wrong here.
And I'll just say correct. So here
There we go.
we have a section checking for correct. Now I could run this, and this hopefully will, I don't know, maybe I messed something up, but this should at least keep asking me to guess, right? Between 1 and 10, and we'll see. So I'm going to tentatively try to run this. If I mess something up, I might need to, when you start having loops, you mess something in the loop where you don't get your exit condition properly, you can get stuck in them forever, right? So I'm always a little queasy when I first do a loop, but let's run the loop here and see what we get. So notice I printed the correct answer here because I want to be able to check myself. So I'll type in 2. Whoops. Type in 2. Ask me to guess again. I'll type in 4.
Wait, what did I do wrong there?
I don't know. What's up?
Oh. Oh, I think I see what I did wrong. I added an extra brackets up here. That's what it is.
So notice by having the correct choice, I could exit if I wanted to. So look, it's working, right? It can definitely tell when the user entered the correct thing, right? It's making sense? All right, what I want you guys to do here is, we know we had else ifs, right? So what I want you to do is add an else if to see if it's less than, to tell the user, hey, you were too low, and then else if that it's greater than to say you were too high. Can you do that? Can you play with that and try that?
I'm still trying to figure this out.
What's up, boss?
What did I do wrong with that? Oh, if only I forgot a bracket.
You have public class twice, so you have public class, in-class programs, 2 public class random examples, so you have 2
Okay.
public classes.
Can I just get rid of this one? Or get rid of the one on the top?
Which one did you?
Oh, I could see there's like a...
Well, so yours is called in-class programs 2. So when you created it, you created it calling it in-class programs 2.
Yeah.
So that should be your main class.
Yeah.
So above main, right, whatever you called it, there's the package, and then your class should come down here.
Oh, okay.
I think did you call this public class and not a package?
Yeah.
That's probably. And again, it's hard to tell because looking at your file system, it looks like you called your class. doesn't look like it's seeing that. Because see over here, your in-class programs, you don't have an in-class programs too, it's just in-class programs. You have a different system, so get the 2 out of that and put an S on the end.
Oh, okay, I see.
No, but does not match the
Still. Is there a way you can like rename it?
Well, yeah, so,
Just to give it a name that isn't as confusing?
no, so you have different packages here too. So right click on that package, and go to, right click, and new
No.
class. And here, this is the thing that we call random. So random examples.
Put that.
Yeah. No space.
No space?
No spaces.
Yeah, good point.
And then uncheck the topic static. All right, that's got the right package info. So if you come back to the one you had before, here, in class program, and you grab everything under main and put it back into there. Just watch your braces.
Copy and paste everything.
Yep. Well, no, not everything, because the stuff up
Everything
there. Nope. Look at your random examples. Right, you're set up to have your public void made.
So I
That's
need
it.
anything under random examples.
Well, your should be close. We'll have to see what your brace entries are like. And of course, so you're not going to use, nope, you're going to get rid of that because you're repeating it.
Yeah, you don't need all those brackets, right?
Well, you don't need this because it's in the code that you have.
Maybe that too.
No, you're not controlling. So
Yeah, looks like it's working so far.
play with it. See if you can get those in.
Everything looks like it's gonna work.
Anyone need help with their else ifs?
Great.
I'm just messing around.
That's what you're supposed to do.
So
Well,
what's-
whole point is here is to mess around. If you're comfortable with your else ifs, getting it to say higher or lower, try something else. Try changing the numbers. See if you can make it go higher than 10. Play with
Is
it.
is this the actual, you just write else, or what is the actual?
It's else space if in space.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
You know, it's, C has like LF and
I typed LF like 5 times, and I was like, that's not right. What is it?
I know. And that's you've been seeing me doing some C constructs lately. I'm going to say one small thing. Maybe.
Wouldn't it just be like it could go, say, between 1 and
Oh,
20?
yeah.
Pardon?
If I wanted to go higher, you'd say like between 1 and 20 to change to that.
Well, play with it.
Yeah.
You figure it out. Play with changing the numbers.
Like I'm rolling D20.
Did that help you?
Yeah. Yeah, just see if it goes that.
Anyone else have questions on this? Notice the couple of constructs we've done here. We've added the ability for this to keep asking questions. Our program is now repeating. Right? Before we would spill straight down. One of the things you're going to start doing is, well, what if I did this? Guess a number between 1 and 10. 8. Right, I get an error. One of the things we can do with while loops is we can start looking at the user's input, and we can start asking, is this good input or not? So that it doesn't crash out like this. And that's something we're going to work towards. So we can get it to loop, we can have it loop at any place we want. And we can say, hey, please give me something I can understand, instead of exiting like this.
I got it working. I got the 1 to 20 now.
So, all right. So
Yeah,
let's.
okay, that's kind of easy. I figured out how you can switch it to 1 to 20. All you gotta do is just change 2 little lines.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of programming is just that, finding the one or two things to change, and you start with a simple template, and you expand that template.
Oh, okay. Bracket L. Oh, is there a space in between the bracket and Elsa? Yeah, it looks like there is.
Yes.
Kind of hard to tell sometimes. this. Less than rand, space rand.
I don't know. I think I have myself a half decent guessing game. I don't know. You ever do this in the back of the car with your folks or something? You know, things to make you shut up.
What, like I Spy?
Yep.
I think we did that.
I noticed I had kept my correct result there so I could double check myself. But now you can remove that correct result. You have the beginning of a game. Right? Questions? Comments? Queries?
Yeah, I'm not quite done yet.
I'm gonna add the too low part now.
Anyone remember flashcards?
Yeah,
Studying mathematics.
that's how I learned my science tables.
Yeah.
Before you could just look at all that stuff online. Low tech. I mean, it gets the job done though. That's how I learned it.
Think you could probably. Yes, on. Just keeps asking questions like stuck.
Or
Yeah, that happens. Maybe try your ear. Yeah, so it was waiting for your phone. Does that answer what you needed?
Yes.
Any other questions?
no, I think we're good so far.
All right, so you know what? I think I'm going to ask you to make the beginning of a flashcard for our in class today.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is we can do a number between 1 and 10, right? So pick 2 random numbers and ask the user to answer the multiplication of them. Right? That's what your flashcards were. Here was 3 times 7. So right now you drew 1 random number.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is I want you to make 2 random numbers.
So now you're gonna ask for that too, okay?
So for right now, just say random 1, random 2, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. So computer picks those, and then you ask the user. Right. What is random 1 times random 2? And the user will input that, and you'll check to see if they're right or wrong. Okay. This isn't code. This is pseudocode, right?
Yeah.
Think you can design that and work on that with time to do questions? That'll be our in class today. Okay?
To make a separate.
I would probably make it a separate file and use this as a reference. Is that okay?
I'll save this one now.
And it will be up there on Blackboard for you to post it. We all right? Take your time. It's a little tricky, especially the display part of it, but it's not beyond what you can do. And I'm here to help. Yep. I can come here for 2 seconds or 3 if need be.
Should I name the class flashcard?
there's a weird.
Why not?
Else if your bracket.
With the bracket.
You have a double bracket here. I'm not worried about that double bracket there. Now you're missing one. So that bracket means go the other way. And then this else should have an open bracket. But since they're one liner, bracket, right? Because they're one liner. Does that make sense? Yeah. And Eclipse automatically put in the double brackets for me, so I just got them.
Oh, okay.
But when you do one liners, they're not required in Java. Did that answer?
Yeah.
You needed? Yeah. Yep. So we did the second one. Looks like this. You just do that. Does that make sense? Any other questions? So, give me a second. I'll put this up here for you guys.
Yeah, where would I
Pardon?
specify it to have two random numbers?
Yep.
No, where would I do that?
Where do you put your variables in general? Where have I been trying? Where do I normally put the variables when I declare them?
int rand equals int math dot random. That one.
Yep. But where is that in my program? Up at the top, right?
Yeah.
So you'd want to do a similar thing up at the top. Is make it such that you have a rand 1 equals math.random and a rand 2. So you'd put two of them up there.
Yeah. Rand 1 equals math dot random. Let's try formatting that better. Rand 1 int.
All right, I have that up on Blackboard for you. Sorry that the directions are sparse, but do you understand enough to start? Two random numbers, check to see if the user can enter what they are multiplied together. All right, so like a flashcard. So that is up there on Blackboard to submit to. And play with it, right? Print things to the screen, see what they do. If it doesn't do what you want, change it. Is that fair?
Yeah. So this is an assignment?
Yep, it's our in-class program today.
Yeah, alright. So you probably want in between 1 and 10 for both of them.
We got flashcards between 1 and 10. What else? I did my times tables up to 12 because we measured in inches, and so they always made sure you add up to 12. But the 11s always confused me.
Yeah.